Do 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 da do da. What could we be doing? Oh, the do da day. What in tarnation could possibly be going on here? Make sure you give it a good shaky shake first. The additive. Drink the juice, Fleeper. It's a 16.6 gallon tank, and we're at a quarter, which would give us about 4 gallons, four and change. So if we put another 6 in, that should be around 10 or thereabout. If it's a little spicy, that's okay. Boom ski. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. So we're back here in the VB WRX. This is step 3 in the process of this newest evolution of the car. And in this episode, last episode, we put on the G30 900 turbo kit and tuned that on pump gas and compared those numbers to the Blausch 5356 XT that was on the car at a similar boost number on just 92 octane pump gas. So this episode, we're going to turn this thing up. We put a can of this stuff in about 10 gallons of 92 octane, which according to the quote gives us about 7 octane numbers, which is 99 octane. So I've tested this stuff in the past a number of times, and it always performs really well. There are other octane boosters on the market. This one I do like because it is less damaging to catalytic converters and O2 sensors. It says safe, but it still chews them up, I would say. Same thing with spark plugs, it still kind of chews them up. But we're gonna run it, and I've kind of let this fuel blend a little bit. We're gonna do a pull at lower boost, and then we're gonna start turning the boost up and turning the timing up and just see what we can get out of this thing. Our goal for the day is somewhere around 500 horsepower. We left off right at about 420 horsepower, just shy of that, on pump gas. And so really we're just gonna see what this thing will do until we either run out of injector or we run out of engine, or hopefully we don't run out of engine, or some other limitation that we find. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I've done a few pulls to get this thing dialed in on the new timing map with this Octanium, and let me just show you what we've got. So it's 16 pounds. We have picked up basically 30 horsepower by adding timing through the Octanium. So at the same boost level, 16, we're up 30 horse, and it's pretty good gains everywhere, in fact. So by the pull before it was 384. I could probably still add a little more timing, but we're starting to see reduced gains from adding timing, and so that's where I'm going to call it. So now it's time to turn the boost up, now that we kind of have a new timing curve sorted out. So we're going to see what it does now at 18, then 20, and so on. Clear up till we hit our goal or we're done. ridiculously close to 500. That was 496 on that last pull. I'm running into a little bit of an issue with my injection timing limits. So we're trying to go past it right now. Trying to get just a little bit more fuel out of it, and then hopefully it'll hit 500. My goal is just 500. I'm definitely not gonna leave it there, being so close to the ragged edge of the fuel system. If I leaned it out, it'd be okay, but then you're running leaner, which is more heat. Considering we're not actually running like real race gas, we're running an octane booster. I don't really like to lean it out a whole bunch. So it's kind of like, it's a risky thing to do. So I'm just gonna try to dyno queen this last couple of horsepower out of it and hope nothing bad happens. So I took actually 1.5 degrees of timing out, which should give us a little bit more window because we're not gonna start the timing cycle as soon. So the spark is gonna start a little bit later, which should give us a little more time to get the fuel in the cylinder. But man, it's close. We're so close. So close. And you can hear it misfire up top. I don't really like doing that. So close. Well, if this doesn't do it, I don't think it's gonna happen, at least not today. Let's see. Yeah. I just needed that little bit more fuel and we got just a little bit more, but now I'm seeing the actual rail pressure dropping, which means our low side pressure probably isn't keeping up. I can't log low side pressure, but there's basically a low side pressure that comes from the fuel tank to the high pressure pump, and then from the high pressure pump it gets bumped way up to about 3,000 psi. But I'm actually dropping down to 2,500. My target's 2,900. So you did see some drop on that. I'm gonna go over the log, but that was 506. Hell yeah. That's pretty exciting. I don't know. It's just stock motor, stock fuel system, stock heads, all that, just the turbo kit and an exhaust basically at this point. The other parts that are on the car no longer really apply because it's all just the turbo kit. So G3900, good for 500 on pump gas with a little bit of octane booster. If I can get some more fuel system in it, we might be able to even make a little more, but we're not gonna. That was an absolute pain in the ass. Trying to get the injection window long enough so that it won't misfire, but also doesn't just lean out to the moon. It's kind of interesting, like when the injection window, when you cross to where the start of injection happens before this, or I guess when the start of injection happens before the valve opens, you can actually basically just lose your fuel that you're spraying. You think you're spraying into the cylinder, but you're actually not. And so then suddenly it'll start to just lean out, even though it's not misfiring. And when it misfires, what happens is it actually shoots the spark at the same time the injector is open, and it pops back up the injector. So it's pretty wild what can happen inside a DI motor when the injection timing is just not quite where you need it. And so being on the very ragged edge of that window is just not ideal. So I'm definitely going to turn this down. I was seeing the high pressure pump, high pressure fuel pressure drop off a little bit. I don't think it's actually the high pressure pump. I think it's the feed to it. But unfortunately I don't have a logger on the low pressure side to log that pressure. Anyway, yeah, pretty excited. Made 506 horsepower. Here's this graph. And yeah, the graph looks a little bit funny because I have the boost ramp in so hard, you know, it ramps in from 16 pounds down low, clear up to basically touching 25 pounds at the top. And that's just what I had to do to try to keep the torque out down low. I mean, it's still making plenty of torque. We're making 489 foot-pounds of torque, but I didn't want the torque down here, because that's how you break things. That's how you slip the clutch. That's how you break the split case trans. But I wanted to get the power out the top. So we still got the power out the top, over 500 horse for quite a while, from 5,800 on, but I am running out of fuel here right at the top end. Let's go. 18 minutes. We're headed over the bridge to Extreme Turbo Systems. I teased in the last video a little thing they had that they're working on for me. So we're gonna go check it out for you. Whoa. Whoa, not drag. I heard there's some crazy thing you guys are building.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. It's all good. So here it is. Look at this monster. Put my hand next to it. I got really big hands. There we go. All right, that was cool. That was Extreme Turbo Systems. I wasn't allowed to show you guys much because a lot of what they do is in prototype and R&D, and you're just not allowed to, show everything. But it's a pretty cool facility. Like this building here, I couldn't get it so well on the camera, but that's one of 3 buildings that they have operations in. They have a full CNC tube bending shop. They have a full machine shop. They have an aluminum fabrication for the intercoolers and everything. And then they have the steel fabrication for headers, intercooler pipes, and other things that they make out of steel. So pretty cool operation. Everything is done in-house. They're even in-housing all their flanges and everything else now as well. So pretty awesome stuff, and local, made in the USA, nothing imported. Yeah, check them out, extremeturbosystems.com. Give them a look, follow them on their socials. They're doing cool stuff, and as you can see by what I just teased with the VB, they've got some cool new products coming out that are big, serious power stuff. So again, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video. By the way, I'm not sure exactly what the next video is going to be. I think I want more horsepower though. 506 just isn't going to cut it. So we're going to see what we can do to turn this thing up even further. Thanks for watching.